What is up, everybody? So I just recently watched Across the Spider-Verse, and like the rest of the world, I'm obsessed with it. Obsessed with the characters, obsessed with the story, obsessed with the animation. So of course, I wanted to learn so much more about it, and I'm guessing you did too. Here's a bunch of amazing facts about Across the Spider-Verse you may not know. Across the Spider-Verse was created with work by the most animators ever used in any single film. Over 1,000 animators were brought in to create this movie, including over 240 different characters, with nearly 95 of them having lines. It was the largest animation crew in the history of cinema. The approval from the Comics Code Authority at the beginning of both Spider-Verse movies is the same little logo that used to come on comic books in the 60s to let parents know they were safe for kids to read. The line, "Yeah, I think it's a Banksy," which was first heard in Into the Spider-Verse, can be heard again in Across the Spider-Verse. And this line was a cameo from Post Malone, who sang Sunflower, the huge hit from Into the Spider-Verse. Miles endorsing baby powder was a reference to Peter B. Parker mentioning how it makes it easier to get in and out of your suit. As a cosplaying spider suit wearer, can confirm it does help. SpiderGwen's universe was meant to be styled after SpiderGwen 2015 and described by directors Lord and Miller as a mood ring, displaying how Gwen was feeling in each frame. The MCU is now pretty much linked to Spider-Verse through the mention of Doctor Strange and that little nerd back on Earth 1999-99. I don't know what this means for the future of Spider-Man, but it's interesting. Like we expected, Across the Spider-Verse stars a ton of Spider-Men from all over the multiverse, including, but definitely not limited to, Mayday or Spider-Girl, ooh the cuteness, Spider-Man Unlimited from the 1999 Fox Kids show, Peter Parked Car from a 2014 Spider-Verse world of sentient vehicles, Spider-Rex, created last year, Web-Slinger and Widow the Horse, who were both bitten by a spider doused with a mystical elixir, Insomniac Spider-Man, the star of the popular PlayStation Spider-Man games, Spider-Man 2211, the Spectacular Spider-Man, star of the 2008 animated series of the same name, whose original voice actor Josh Keaton returns to voice, the Meme King 1967 Spider-Man, Spider-Cat, whose main foe in the comics is a pigeon named Venom, Mary Jane Watson Parker and Anna Mae Parker, or Spinneret and Amp, the second Spider-Woman after Jessica Drew, Julia Carpenter, Cyborg Spider-Man, Spider-Cop, likely a nod to a gag started in the PlayStation Spider-Man games, Mangoverse Spider-Man, Werewolf Spider-Man, Spider-Monkey, member of the Ape Avengers, and Tsum Tsum Spider-Man. Is it Zoom Zoom? Tsum Tsum? Tsum Tsum? I'm not sure, but he's in there. Irish-Mexican Miguel OHara, colloquially known as Spider-Man 2099, is one of the film's main antagonists and an absolute dreamboat. His universe is styled after Sid Mead-style illustrations of what the future might look like. Miguel's attempts at finding a universe where he has a family parallels that of Kingpin's mission in the first movie. I guess Miles' universe is at least lucky that Kingpin failed at that, or it might have suffered the same tragic fate. Was that part of the reason Kingpin failed in the first movie? Because he was trying to alter a canon event? Okay, now we gotta talk about my fave in the movie, my man, Hobie Brown. In Earth 616, he wasn't a variant of Peter Parker, he was a variant of the Prowler. This is why it was so great that Hobie was the one to put the human form of the Prowler, reprised by Donald Glover, away. But in an alternate timeline, he gets the radioactive spider bite. He's a lot more violent than other Spider-Men. He's killed before. In the comics, he leads the punk rock rebellion against Norman Osborn, who creates Venom, a chemical which causes anyone to obey what their owner says. But Venom's weakness is sound. Thus the importance of Hobie's awesome electric guitar. Fight that establishment! His particularly unique animation looks like faded band posters with hints of Basquiat and was meant to look like a punk zine. It took 3 years to animate just him. Daniel Kaluuya, the voice actor for Spider-Punk, happened to be born in the Camden Town part of London, one of the birthplaces of punk. Another awesome new character in the movie is Spider-Man India, or Pavitr Prabhakar, and his name sounding like Peter Parker is no coincidence, or his girlfriend, Mira Jane. Instead of a spider bite in his universe, Pavitr meets an ancient yogi who bestows upon him the powers of a spider to battle the evils that are threatening the world. Pavitr's unique motion signatures were inspired by, apologies for pronunciation, Kalaripayattu, one of the oldest known martial arts, some believing to be the mother of martial arts, originating from the Indian state of Kerala over 2,000 years ago. Another new character, Jessica Drew, aka Spider-Woman, is probably one of the first awesome characters I've ever seen kick ass while pregnant, and it seems to pay homage to a fun period of time in Spider-Woman comics where she gets a new costume redesign and has a baby son named Jerry with a former villain, the Porcupine, who we've seen one variation of in She-Hulk. Is the super hot dad she was talking about in the movie the Porcupine? Maybe, we'll see. Hopefully we'll see. Show me the hot dad. We also meet Ben Reilly, aka the Scarlet Spider. Ben is a genetic clone of Peter Parker and was made in order to fight him. Ben, who thought he was the real Peter Parker, finally determined he was a clone and spent 5 years in exile, believing himself to be a worthless clone. But one of the major complaints by comic book readers was that he seemed too whiny and unsure about himself. All this mid-90s style angsty imposter syndrome seems to be played off of in the movie. The Spot is the main antagonist in the movie, also known as Dr. Jonathan Owen, who, in the comic books, graduated from MIT where he was roommates with Quentin Beck, also known as Mysterio. By the end of the movie, he's animated to be portrayed as some sort of living painting, highlighting his liquid form and empowered state. It is another example of a cool animation style featured in the movie. I was absolutely obsessed with it. There's also a cameo by Sun Spider, a spider person with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, voiced by comic Danielle Perez. In the comics, she uses a wheelchair and crutches for stability, and even her crutches are equipped with web shooters. I love it. The Lego Spider-Man sequences featured in the movie were created by a 14-year-old. After the first teaser was released, 14-year-old YouTuber Lego Me, the OG, recreated it entirely, and the filmmakers were so impressed, they hired him to create those sequences to be placed into the movie. Absolutely wild, and my biggest dream, obviously. American record producer, record executive, and DJ Metro Boomin loved Into the Spider-Verse so much he worked with the filmmakers to curate and produce the sequel's musical soundtrack. Additionally, he also got to cameo as Spidey Metro, his own Spider-Sona, with the line, "My bad everybody, there was somewhere to run." There's some facts about Across the Spider-Verse that fascinated me. I hope you learned something new. There's tons more to learn about Across the Spider-Verse. If you have any other to contribute, please comment down below, because the more I learn about Across the Spider-Verse, the more my heart grows. Thank you all so much for watching and letting me gush about Spider-Verse. Also, if you have any cool Spider-Verse art, please share it with me. I don't mind, whatever it's gonna be. I love these characters to death. Miles, Hobie, I would die for you. And once again, thank you all so much for being the awesome people that you are. If you are interested in any of my previous videos, you can click over here, or if you're new to the channel and would like to subscribe, click down here. That is it, and until next time, take it easy guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out. I'm a nerd, I'm sorry. I'll see myself out.